Pre-game, you told me about you wanted to see how this team would respond and if they would meet this Knicks physicality. How would you say the Knicks kind of took that to another level?
Yeah, they won that battle. Fair, and we both were on the West Coast. Nobody can use that as an excuse. They came back home. We came back home, played a game, same amount of rest, and they were better than us tonight in all facets of the game.
There were moments on the offensive side. We saw the guys kind of come together and have some conversations. What allowed and caused those frustrations on that side of the ball?
You know, you don't want to get to a point where the offense is dictating your energy, effort, concentration, focus, and detail on the defensive end of the floor. And we're growing as a team to value each possession. And if the possession doesn't work out for you offensively, it maybe a guy missed you, maybe we missed a shot, maybe something negative happened, it can affect the opposite end of the floor. And so we're learning how to get on to the next possession and value each possession. And we'll continue to learn lessons for sure.
Jacque, what's the first step in combating, some of these slow starts that the team has experienced in recent games?
Yeah, CJ, it's really on me to take a closer look if there is a lineup change that needs to be had to get our group going. Like I told you, I've been taking data of this group, how we can get out to better starts. I thought our concentration level and walkthrough was pretty good as far as preparation. I just think the overall mentality going into a game, this team came and played, which a team that normally doesn't run, well, they said, well, we're going to run tonight. They got it on transition against us. And so how do you respond to those situations? We haven't responded very well. And when we dig ourselves a hole, it's a deep hole. And the mentality of starting the game has to be hit first. It's tough for us to play from behind.
Jacque, I was going to bring up the transition. Was this kind of a game where you saw a team literally in the Knicks kind of doing what you're asking of your team, which is start fast, be physical, get out in transition? Was it almost kind of like seeing a team almost mirror what you want to see from your team?
They definitely did it at a high level, Evan. And whether that was early, Julius Randle contesting and getting out in transition, again, against a team that really doesn't play more half-court team than anything. And so for them to be able to establish themselves early in the game, that wasn't a good sign for us. That wasn't a good sign for our concentration level, and we paid for it.
You guys kind of had your way with them for a couple years, and then since the middle of last season, it's kind of gone their way. Can you get a sense that they sort of, have a comfortable feeling against you guys right now? You have to figure out a way to swing that back?
Oh, I'm not sure I'm going to buy into that one. This is today's game. This group right here, this group had never played that group. So this group right here that played this game tonight, we lost this game tonight. Fortunately, we get a chance to play them again, and that team who's available and plays that night will have an opportunity. But I won't compare it or parlay it with any other group that's played that other team before.
We saw two quick timeouts, one in the third quarter and one in that fourth quarter. I know you'll call a timeout when needed, but what were you seeing that the Knicks were able to capitalize on, and what were you trying to communicate to your team?
Again, it's the value of the possession, and you can't start the second half. You're already losing the game, and then for us to have two plays back-to-back, offense and defense, wasn't a good sign for us for tonight. And I love that this was fair. We can't use any excuse. They were on the West Coast also. They still were more physical. We knew they were #1 offensive rebounding team. We had some good possessions where we brought the fight, but there were some possessions where they won that battle.
Tonight, only shot 27% of your attempts at the rim and only made 46% of them. Do you think that was not a reluctance to drive, but a choice not to, or was it something the Knicks were doing defensively in your mind?
Yeah, Lucas, they're a very heavy loaded team, especially with that bottom guy. And I think a lot of times the three was more tantalizing than trying to get to the rim. We definitely want to get to the rim. I think the biggest point is the attack for us rim-wise has to be in transition. And then we're not getting stops and getting out. So really impacts us getting to the rim. So that combination tonight, their defense, but also the decision-making of us not getting to the rim and relying on the three.
Mikal had another tough one tonight. For a guy who's been so critical to your success, and this is uncharacteristic of him, just what's your message to him as he tries to break out of these struggles?
Yeah, Eric, I told the group this is a great challenge overall for a team and individually. We hit a little spot in the season. A lot of teams do. We've lost a few games in a row. Who's going to respond, and how are we going to respond? And so I have full confidence that Mikal will get his body and mind and right and be ready to go next game. And our group will also. This is a great challenge for us this time of year.
What do you think it is attribute Mikal's struggles these last 3 games shooting-wise to? Is it just teams defending more physically, or is it just, other things? What do you attribute these last 3 games, you think, to?
It's just the way the ebbs and flow of the season. At the end of this thing, I'm quite sure his averages will be where they're supposed to be, and he'll be an impactful player like he's been majority of this season. You just go through little patches where the ball isn't going in for you. I thought he was really good on Brunson early in the game, and the length that he used against Brunson was really good. So Mikal's more than just scoring for us, and as long as I don't I don't know. I don't want to get in a position where I'm just thinking of him as a scorer. He does so much more for us.